Well, I think, Poonam, I kind of look at, before we kind of talk about, I think we've established the need for skilling, reskilling to a great extent. And once
Yes.
that is established, then the first thing which comes to mind is, hey, how do I build the foundation? Right? And I kind of see this question about competency-based, learning model as the foundation over which you can do the things that you want to do. And it's not the only thing, but for us to think in terms of the right skills for people to perform a particular job, the foundation is a competency-based model, in at least in my experience. And and just talking about my personal experiences, I think I recollect the slide that you shared earlier. We picked an interesting model called the ask model. And it happens to be, very similar to what you talked about, attitude, skills, and knowledge. So for one to perform for a particular role, one has to have a certain set of competencies in something called the attitude, a bucket called attitude, another bucket called skills, and another bucket called knowledge. And I think you described that in the chart that you shared. For one to perform that particular role, you've got to have competencies, and then you need to understand proficiency levels of how one needs to perform each one of those competencies. So that's the larger framework. Now, your question was about, in terms of how do you use it in an organization? And the way I see it is that you use it from the organization before somebody starts in the organization. Because oftentimes we interview people and hire people based upon, our biases that are there in every interaction we take. We're not being scientific about or being clear about what is the role definition, what are the critical tasks that need to be performed, and hence what are the competencies and what is the proficiency levels for those competencies. So I kind of see that starting at the front edge of understanding, using that definition of competencies to bring the right talent into the organization, taking the biases out to the best possible extent. We can never take them out completely, but you can at least do that through some kind of a scientific method. Once the person is in the organization, inevitably the question becomes, hey, you are expecting them to perform a particular role. And now the role is dependent on the project. A new project comes in and you are expecting them to do something else. And now you need to determine, hey, what are the competencies required for this new role? Like Eric described how the roles are changing all the time and the half-life period of those roles that exist. So, and that's real life. You are hiring talent for the long haul, and it's up to you to help invest in the talent. So the question of understanding where somebody is with respect to the expectations, so that, hey, this is what is expected to be done in this role, this is where you are in terms of the competencies, then helping people to get from here to there is something that we need to do. That goes back to your reskilling question that you talked about, upskilling, reskilling, however you describe it. And the final thing I would say is that it's also important for organizations to provide career mobility. We talked about L&D a lot. So how does one know what are the options? If I'm a large organization, where can I go? Well, I can go to different places two ways. One, knowing what are the things that are expected in that particular role, and knowing where I am with respect to what is expected and what the gaps are. So that other piece of providing career mobility also becomes an important component. So I'll kind of say three things: identifying the right talent, getting them into the organization, getting them to be effective, to them meaning all of us to be effective in the roles that we perform, and then providing careers as people progress through the organization.